Hello and welcome, Centurions. Hambbage here, and yeah, that's right. We're gonna celebrate you as Cabbage Centurions today because we have a very special episode 100 of our Toehold on Eternity World. Can you guys believe it? I mean, since Slow Cooker, we've been so quick to drop worlds. We went through quite a few in a very short period of time that never really got much of a go. Toehold though, it's uh, it's beginning to get quite a grasp. That was spectacular. So here we are for anybody who is just joining us because 100 episodes is awesome, and you wanna get the full glory. Welcome. That's awesome. Um, we spent pretty much the last week, if not more, preparing to and then building this, which is our creeper focused darkroom spawner. It's got a little bit way up at the top that is general population spawning. So we may get a stray skelly or creeper, skelly or zombie in there, but by and large, as you guys can see, we're going to get a bunch of creepers in here. And as we said at the end of the last episode, when we just ran this a couple of times, um, it just so happens this is our 100th episode, but it's going to be a good one because we're going to kind of chill out around here, run the farm a little bit, maybe go down and harvest our amethysts again, just because we can, and why not when we have something that cool? But so I think we're going to catch a little bit of a gap here, right? Having just logged in, the box hasn't filled with mobs. The ones that were down here were the ones that were saved as initially having been saved in the game the last time we wrapped up. But as far as everything up there and the rate that they're filling the box and everything, yeah, not so much. Okay, so we want to drop those off. Let's just, ooh, we can get a sleep in too. Let's go ahead and do that first. So yeah, it's pretty awesome being here, having all of this done and a part of all the tools that we have in the world here. It's really great. Hey, there's a zombie, and this is a great tool we kind of predated the need for or circumvented or something. Um, we're gonna need. Did we make a gunpowder box or did we just use what we had? Yeah, we just used it all, which is fine. Um, kind of wondering if we want to. Let's just. It's gonna get messy, but I think our first stop is to go back to the base. I'd like to get some more chests. Particularly, I think over here we'll just do gunpowders and sugar canes. Those will be the things that'll fill up. These can be random, whatever we get out of mobs that we want to just stash away and not carry around. Um, so I'd said that we kind of wanted to use the coming. I'm totally gonna rethink what we just talked about. Let's make all that paper. I'll leave all this in here. Um, so yeah, we talked about kind of using this episode to hang out, do this and that, and kind of do a little bit of planning, a brainstorming session to see where we want to go next. I have one chest, and I did use up all that wood, right? So no problem. That's all right. What we want is our next projects, and then I think because it just happens to be episode 100, we'll also you go do a little fly around and just memory lane the little bit of the world that we have so far. We've got the wings and just got a little bit of idle time without too much, but we want to. This has been so big and needed so much material that we really, we basically expanded the basement for a week, just getting deep slate ready to go to be able to do this. And then gathering up and cooking the stone and all those other pieces just took a lot of time, not to mention a few days of getting the site prepared and doing the geodes underneath and the build of this big platform, the elevators, the top box, everything kind of constitutes a pretty good project. So I enjoyed it, but we need to kind of go, okay, well, we've done all that. What are our next top priorities, and what are wish list items? And I think the first of all of those is we want to do 2 nether portal expansions. One is going to be here. We want, obviously, we just want to be able to come in and out of this place without having to go down the elevator and then get in the boat and then boat over to the base area. And we can't see it from here, but it is just out beyond this point of forest. That's the same forest that wraps around the tree farm and everything. So really, this is just the beginning of our bay, and it kind of keeps going out that way. We'll fly over that way, and then our villager trading is kind of right there. That was our old sugarcane farm that we used while we were fishing in the middle of the night. And of course, beyond that, go back over to this side and look. Back down here, this was kind of the boat path where we had to go around that point, and then the jungle village is back that way, and the mesa is way beyond the jungle out that way. The 2 places that I next want to go to with the most regularity are going to be here. I want this to be as close. And if you think about how far we have to go for the villager trading, it's like nothing, right? We walk out of our portal. If this is kind of the portal room, we usually come through facing this way. We walk around and then turn there, and we're there. It's like 20 blocks of walking space. It's nothing. And that's from that point to that point. So from here, if you turn around in the nether, and we'll go look at all this stuff too, so you guys don't have to just imagine, but within the structure that we built, here's our main base portal. It's all got the diorite, the glass. We had, appropriately enough, we built that scaffold tower from where the nether initially spawned us up at the ceiling. It's right about there, and I think our next access point will be somewhere in that area, and we've already got a bridge going over to our end stronghold and all that. So good there. Should be very close and quick, and a knockout kind of project, easy win. The next one that we'll want to build will be, I think, the Mesa, which is way out that way, and that would be more of an adventure and looking around. May actually be out towards or built off the pathway that we've constructed to go out to our Wither Skeleton farm, which we've got and we can definitely go hang out with. And the final one is going to be our spawn point portal. We've seen how many times we've had an incomplete bet or whatever, gone off to fight a dragon or look for shulkers, and we end up about 1,500 blocks or so that way and have to come back all the way across deserts and forests and everything else to get back to our base here. So that's one to just have. It, if you've got spawn, there's so many ways that you can end up back there. Um, Basically the end. But, anywhere else at the game, if, and hardcore is less likely to do this, but if the game can't rectify where you're going to end up, it's going to spawn is the point where it defaults to put you. So, yeah, we'll just kind of let all that happen, set it up, and play it out as it goes. Let's just keep on with these for a bit. Paper here. Perfect. All right, let's do that. Spare rockets in here, these in here. Spare paper. So while we're hanging out here for just another little bit, cleaning up the rest of these items, there's two things that, two other little minor items that we don't want to lose track of, particularly, I think. And those are the villagers in the trading outpost that we don't have assigned. We currently have two. And one of the items that we really need to still get a book for is a power 5. With that, we can largely take care of replacing all the bows that we might use. Then beyond that, it really opens up quite a bit. We want to fight a wither and get our first beacon set up so that we have that. We also want to be able to respawn the dragon. I'd like another pair of wings, and that really is what I was thinking for the second. The two kind of like minor deals, but things that we need at the top of the items list, I guess, are the villager trading power 5, which is slow and tedious and kind of just a drag to go do, where we've already done so many of them, and it's not as flashy, right? It's not like, oh, we need the mending or we need the unbreaking 3 because everything is wearing down. Now we don't need that, but we will need to continually replace our bows, and so that one is a biggie. It really is. Now, to an extent, once we set up enchanting here as well as back at the base, we can just sit here and farm some levels, look at books, and then we will work that the opposite of what I described. When we first started enchanting, we went up to level 50 at least as kind of a starting point, and then went down. And that's because we're trying to, we're going to put a sword on. We want to get as many enchants as possible, as good ones as we can. At this point, we don't need any of that. We've got tools, we've got all the books and everything. We can just go buy all the enchants we need to make another Silk Touch pick, for instance, and eventually we'll want to have like, a shulker's worth so that we just go and go and go and go and go. But now that we have those and we're just looking at books, you're never going to get too two enchantments in a single book that will work together, if that makes sense. You may get like a Luck of the Sea and a Quick Draw, and I don't even know if those two can go together, but you get the idea, right? One can only work on a crossbow, one can only work on a fishing pole. They'll never be confused as being stacked together. So you could get a book with multiple enchants, but they're not going to go together. So for that reason, you want to, as we've talked about in the past, look at a bunch of books on the enchanting table at a very low level. And so what I normally do is come over here, and chop, 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 get a bunch of levels, and then roll through books looking at what the enchants are. When I'm at like level 1 through whatever, 15, 20, whatever, until I get one that I like. And usually that's going to be at the highest tier, which requires level 30 to enchant. So when I have a target book, or an item, if I have the first time that we get a trident, if it's not already enchanted, we'll want to see it. If maybe we can get something good. Although we already have Impaling 5, so that would be, will it maybe just get a free unbreaking or something like that on it? Why waste the chance? But you know what I mean. Beyond that, we're just going to roll through books and look what's the best enchant on them, and is it something I want, and do I want to stockpile any of those up? As we go through, when we get to one that's at level 30, we'll then come build our level up to the point where we can buy it, and then enchant back down again so that we're down low and getting quick, cheap levels. So that's another little minor item to come, but not very needed at this point, really. If we need something really bad, we'll go hunt for it, or we'll try to set up a librarian to get it. But at the moment, we don't even have a trident, so that's going to be kind of the outstanding stuff. Eventually, we'll want to make a top tier crossbow as well. We'll need that for, the Phantom Advancement, 2 birds, 1 stone, or arrow, or whatever they call it. Go from there. But speaking of which, since this is episode 100 and we're kind of just hanging out, let's take a quick look. I hadn't even looked for a long time, and I'm noticing now we are at game day 441. That's pretty good, and about right. That's about 4 days per hour or episode, 4.5. And that seems pretty consistent. Now, some days we'll sleep, some nights we'll sleep, others when we're in the nether and things like that, that's going to slow down because we're not sleeping through the nights. And now we're kind of at that level where we don't care. We've spent plenty of nights outdoors fighting our way through the mobs and all that. And, as I always say, our top priority is not dying. That's the main one. I like this world. We want to keep it. But we don't want to drop down. So yeah, that was just an item I wanted to check to see how far, because I hadn't, even when we looked at coordinates and things like that, I've been focused on the build and hadn't really gone. Now this is going to slow down our creepers, but who cares? Let's also review where we're at on advancements, because to this point we haven't talked much about advancing the advancements much at all. And when you first start out, I think this is the only tree that you get. I think it's just the Minecraft advancement. So this is you get this one for free. I think you get each of those. You make an axe, you upgrade it, you get iron, you make iron armor. Got like a little floaty bug floating around. Got him. A shield, we've done all that. We just haven't bothered to fill a bucket with lava, but we can certainly do that. Basically, everything here is done, except that we haven't yet done the zombie villager. And maybe that's something we can go ahead and do. Now that we can make potions on our own, we can set him up with a potion of weakness and then heal him. Watch for the thing to go. At some point we'll find the find the igloos. And now that we have potions, if we do expanded trading, if we decide we want a bunch more emeralds, now we can certainly, try to arrange it so that they're getting infected and then recovered as we go. So cool. We're doing very well in the Minecraft, kind of the starter section, right? Husbandry is a fun one. It's got a lot of good stuff. We haven't done anything with our bees yet. We bred some, but we haven't set up our own hives or done those to help support our farms yet. We also haven't done a lot with the breeding. Cows and chickens, obviously, we bred, and dogs and cats. I think those are the four that we've got. We haven't done the boat with a goat. We haven't even. Well, I guess we have the pet cats in the villager trading hall, so we've tamed a couple, but long way to go on the cat breeding. We haven't done the bucket fish, and then we haven't done the axolotl. We briefly tried just the other day, but haven't done anything. Haven't moved the bees. We've eaten 7 of 40 foods, so not very far there, and haven't even begun. We'll get to the netherite, and of course that's one we did in slow cooker as well. I seriously liked the serious dedication a lot better when it was use up a diamond hoe and reevaluate your life, I think is what it said before. Now it's your choices. Um, I mean, this doesn't seem like a waste, right? We've talked about having netherite or having fortune on our hoe for harvesting the carrots and pumpkins, particularly, but also getting more seeds. And so it's actually got a use, and that doesn't really work with me for the description of it. But we'll probably do both. We'll netherite up our farming hoe, and then we'll make another diamond one and just use it up on mobs or something. Celebrating the past, I like to do that. In the end, we've done quite a bit, but we haven't respawned yet. And again, that's gonna come out of the end crystals. We need lots of gas tiers and all that good stuff to get him going again. When we do that, then we have a better chance of getting a new portal and checking for more elytra. We've got the one, we've checked out a number of cities and got a bunch of boxes, but haven't really taken it a lot further than that yet. So, got that. Adventure, another fun one. We can make a spyglass, and I was actually thinking we should do that at some point so we can get these. There's a hidden one here. There's 3 of the looks, and I believe the other one is a panda, which we haven't seen yet. Haven't gotten a trident yet. We may have to make a farm. Keep that one in mind. Skeleton from at least 50 meters away. I love that one. Just I haven't really focused on it yet, but it's easy. This one is ironically much more frustrating than that one, but we can get it too. Hostile mobs, we're getting there. Remember we had to try to figure out which ones we were missing in the last world to get caught up, but the most formidable remaining are the Wither, of course, which we'll get. I'm confident on that one, and the Elder Guardians in the temple, which I don't really try to focus on too much until we have a trident, which keep that in mind again. Totems, we don't have any yet. I miss not having one. Would like to get it. So raids, that's another thing to keep in mind. Hired help, see raids, another thing to keep in mind. Honey block, easy, whatever. All 3 of these kind of go together. I think we have a crossbow, but we haven't done anything with it. But we can't, we've got the mending and everything. We can kind of roll that to try to get it to go. It's mainly a matter of, now that we have a toolbox, carrying the crossbow around, and then if we see some of the pillagers around, pulling it out and using it on them. And then once it has the is it piercing 4, I think, for the crossbow? You have to get top level piercing, which basically lets your crossbow bolts, which are arrows, go through multiple mobs, and then you kind of have a coordination luck thing where you have to get a kill shot on two phantoms at the same with the same shot, and that means weakening them a little bit, and then getting them both lined up and shooting them together. It's a little, probably takes a few nights of just running around until we get lucky. We hadn't even done this one yet with the slow cooker world. It was one of the new ones in 17 and just never got around to it. So that's something I'm still looking forward to doing. I don't think there's a whole lot to it. You just put up a thing, and either with channeling probably is the best way to do it, or wait for a storm for it to protect. Um, this one you've kind of gotta coordinate, because when they split up 17, there isn't there's an above ground powder snow, so you have to coordinate it with cauldrons and all that kind of stuff. We'll either get to it or it'll update to 18 and we'll be on our way. Uh, and the biomes, we got 11 left. It looks like we do have all the jungles and all the mesas knocked out, which is nice, but haven't found any mushrooms yet. And I think all of the snowy tundra ones are still for fair game, so that counts for a bunch, and then who knows, random other bits. So lots to do in the adventure, and then in our nether, still lots to do as well. We worked that one, set it up, and got that advancement in slow cooker. It was fun. We've seen bastion remnants. We have a few that we can use, but haven't bothered with that yet. Those will come through it. We can find lodestones then and use them, and keep this one in mind. This is one of the top contenders right there. Which order we do some of the next stuff is kind of incidental, I think, but we've kind of got a tier, and that's what we're talking about in this episode. Obviously, that goes in one step further. We need netherite, clearly. We haven't gone quite that far yet, but putting a gateway at our spawn. Well, no, I don't think, 'cause that's only what, 1,000 blocks. So yeah, I can't remember if it was 1,000 or 10. Whatever it was, I don't think it's quite far enough. But eventually, we'll do that. It's easy enough. Um, Again, wither is our deal for the beacon. So that's all one, and that kind of goes with the remnants. We'll have lots of piglins around, and we've got enough crying obsidian. We can certainly do all that. So we're making good progress. We just haven't really focused on the adventure part of the game, as I like to call it, or the advancements in and of themselves. And I think any of the directions we go in next are going to help us out a little bit with that. And there are 4 of them, and I honestly haven't really decided. Let me check the time in this episode, where we're just sitting around and talking. We're about halfway through. So the four possibilities, and we want to get to all of them, and we may kind of just play around with them to get them done. Outside of the portal, connecting the portals, and maybe doing the power book. I don't know. We'll see how that one comes out. We then have four big possibilities to go: fighting the Wither and getting the beacon, building a trident, a drowned spawner, or working through the ocean and looking for a trident until we get one. Setting up and performing a raid, getting our totems, and last but not least, farming up ancient debris so that we can do our netherite and get all that going. So although and there's pros and cons. There's no right order for any of those 4 next big tasks. Obviously, having a totem is great. Once you have one, you got a lot of safety, but you run a lot of risks when you're fighting that raid. Um, Same thing kind of goes with the wither. We could cheese him right out of the gate and just get it, but I always like to have a first fight with a wither that's kind of above ground and will get us some wither roses from the start. So the first one of those is going to be done up kind of in an arena similar to my previous wither fight. You guys can go back and find it in the slow cooker world if you want to, or just sit tight. We'll get to it soon enough. Um, the trident is great because it opens up uh, the guardian temples and getting underground there or underwater there, which ultimately we need to do to get how do we get here anyway. But more than that, it gets us sponges for building and all of the underwater blocks, not to mention one of the best weapons in the game. So there's real cases to be made for all of those options, and I don't know that there's any one right or wrong answer. I think we may partially do a search for ancient debris as we kind of figure it out. And while I don't want to do it directly as a part of linking up the portals, it may be that while we're trying to link either the spawn location or the mesa, that we kind of get a better feel for what terrain we're going to be into and where's a place that we could go deep underneath and start hollowing out. So I don't know. All those are possibilities, and none of them are wrong or out of reason or question. But all that being said, we don't need to decide right now. That's another beauty of Minecraft. You don't. You can, along the way, you can just go out and have fun, and if you're not feeling something, just go look at animals, or go for a hike. That's one of the great, great things about this game. All right, so since we headed out this way again, this is our original sugarcane fields, and we'll just come by and see Farmer Fred. We'll just do a quick tour here. So this was our nearby village. We made a field, and there's Freddy down there. He's hanging out. I guess I could have slept before we started this whole deal. Ooh, have we seen this? This will be a good place to spend our evening. I don't know if we saw this one. We were out exploring. We did not. We can take this just to disenchant it. I don't see much. I would have grabbed crying, but no. Man, it's been too long already making mistakes. Don't put your bed in your bow. Switch out your bed with your bow in case when you wake up there's trouble. It's sometimes nice to just be able to shoot it. Alright, well that was fun. Okay, so here's our mesa edge, and as we were discovering in the previous episode, when we kind of really started walking around it was much bigger. I thought we maybe had just gotten a little hint of mesa, but we did fairly well for ourselves. And here, I think in this little area, oh, here's that first mine that we had worked on. But then there's more mesa this way, right? Yeah, down here, and this was the bit that we hadn't at first discovered, but well, I'm looking for the little treetop bit where we fought the creepers and dealt with all the nasties. We're still doing just fine here. Oh, that is bit bizarre. I think we did grab coordinates on it though, right? So hopefully we'll be able to go back and find it, but it's sure not in the middle of this first area. So I don't know. I don't know. I lost it again. Maybe it only comes out when the moon is full or something. Yeah, I thought with a rocket we would be all set to find it. Well, anyway. Oh, here we go. Must be down here. There we go. Alright, well, we found it. That's good. Now, let's, wonder how far it is to go back to... home. So this is what I was kind of talking about with the wind effect and all that. I mean, how good would it have been to have wind sounds while we were up working on our stuff? And again, I don't want them to like, oh, whoa, you're blowing off the thing, but got it already. That's why we put on the torches. I think some of these are probably... What? Is this back to the same one again? Pigs. Definitely loading a lot of chunks. We are definitely down to 4 rockets. 3 rockets. See anything familiar? And what is that? We're definitely gonna have to go check that out, but what am I doing? Yeah, we missed. Okay, well, that's alright. Oh, wait, I gotta stop doing that. It keeps distracting me. Um, we need here. So I'm guessing. Yeah, we were just still way beyond our base this way. And now. This'll. Oh, those are guardians. What? Those little things. Okay, here's the ice spike section. To get up ways. And I'm really. How horribly ironic would it be if we just smacked into our tower because it hadn't loaded? So we boated around all this stuff. This is a bit of a guess, but get us up just high enough. Don't stall. Oh man, I have to do one more. Nope. There we go. A little adventure out over the mesa. I had really meant to loop to the base too, but we went off in the other direction. Let's see how we doing on time now. 45. That wasn't too bad. Go do one more quick flight here just to get. There's our tree farm ring. Our villager trading outpost is under that mountain. Our mountain full of animals. And our fields and animal chickens populate. There we go. So I think we'll end up doing bees along there. Maybe a back corner there. I don't know. Let's see. And it was. But it's still got a gold block. Where did our end portal spawner broom thing go? Remember where that was? There it is. So it's real close to. That's our end stronghold fortress. Now let's see if we can find something here. On the nice gravelly mountain. The one gold block. Wow, that's kind of. Maybe we had come here and just didn't have tools at the time to take the gold block or inventory or something. Looks like a pretty discarded chest worth of stuff, right? Does have an enchantment though. Might as well go scrub it. Alright, let's pop on back home. So the two things that we want, I think, are. Let's take one of these. We're gonna have to run the tree farm again. I think this can go there for now. Some logs to make chests, and then we wanted frames. 10 should be way more than enough. Yep. Frames and chests. We'll do all the enchanting, but I don't feel like setting all that up right now. Can drop that and that off. And I guess we can scrub these two over here. Just a nice little swap. This, oh man, this. All right, there we go. So I think we'll wrap up by flying back and just dropping these off. I don't even know that we'll get around. I don't really feel like doing a lot of building and stuff in this just kind of tour and catch up episode, but um, it won't take much to uh, do that wrap up stuff. And when we do, we'll still be loading up on creepers because we need a lot of gunpowder. So I think for the moment we're gonna kind of call ourselves good here. I want to appreciate you guys so much, everybody that's dropped by in the first 100 episodes. I hope we have 100 more and then some. You know, goal number one is always don't die, right? We want to keep this world going, and this is the first of what I hope will be a world full of all kinds of cool things that are built out. But this is the first one that I think is really, hey, we built this, and it can hang out and stand the test of time. The little first enchanting tower thing, that was kind of just a desperation to get something thrown up and get enchanting. But this is, I like the colors, I like the patterns. I think it's pretty impressive. So that's why I keep taking pictures of it and making them into thumbnails. I want to remember this one. So hope you guys all enjoyed. Keep coming around. Lots more to come. As we said, we got 4 big projects all to come. And as you guys saw from this one, each one of those has a million other little odds and ends and things we've got to do along the way. So lots to keep us going. And we won't, we'll try not to get bogged down. We'll try to keep things rotated. This project did kind of, become all consuming. It was like, no, we're not going to do a little bit. We tried with the geodes and things to mix it up, have a little bit of variety content, but going forward, we'll set things up, and they do all have some elements of combat, some elements of risk, and some of gathering and exploration, and all that piece too, or building. So yeah, stay tuned for a whole lot more to come. Again, I appreciate you all so much for coming by. I really do. Thank you. The comments have been outstanding. The likes and all the views and everything are truly truly nice, and I appreciate you guys leaving those for me. As I always say, hitting that subscribe button is the best way for you guys to know that a new video has come out. You can certainly do that through Twitter as well. I try to be pretty good about hitting a few of those when the videos do pop up. Kind of a, hey, we're starting off again today, and like this one, hey, hundredth episode in the Toehold on Eternity world. Come see what we've been working on. That sort of stuff will make it into Twitter, but not everyone. So and the subscribes do help. It tells other people that we've got people watching, and I appreciate that. All the people that have been so nice to share this channel with others, their friends and stuff. You guys rock. And the whole reason I started this worlds now ago, real life months of getting these recorded and up, is I just like playing Minecraft, and I enjoy being able to share that with a little bit of a community and get your feedback, and know that those of you that are out there making content are probably in a similar state. So I've found a whole bunch of new content creators that before I started I would have never known of, and you guys rock. So keep spreading the word. I'll keep making the videos and the builds in the world, and hopefully not not losing it all too often. But hey, even now, if we do, we've still got this memory together. So thanks so much for hanging out. You guys have an awesome, wonderful next part of the day. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do yet. I may well be back for a few more videos. We'll see how things play out. But for now, you guys take care of yourselves, and we'll see you when we see you. Bye. When I get the thank you screen up, I always forget. There we go. Thanks so much. Stay awesome. Do yourselves a favor. Go find somebody that could use a hand and give it to them. You'll feel wonderful for having done it. Till the next time, stay awesome. See ya.